Welcome back, fight fans. This is the DAZN Boxing Show. I go by the name of Barak.
And I'm Barak, the boxing bully.
Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. A lot of fights this weekend, a lot to talk about. Maybe we'll touch on what Floyd did out in Japan. Also, man, it's Serrano. She becomes unified champ at 126. The big man, Joyce. And of course, on a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent, Shakur Stevenson gets the big win, but is no longer champion. It's the opening bell. You know, Barak, one of the things the first things that people say when a fighter doesn't make weight is lack of discipline, yourself included. And it's understandable. And maybe it is most of the time. But when you're this level of talent that Shakur Stevenson is, and people are so excited to see you in the next weight class where all of the talent is, well, a lot of the talent in the sport, you almost kind of get a pass, and people will overlook that because they'll say, hey, this guy's the best guy in the division already. He has nothing else to prove at 130. All of the killers at 135. Those are the guys I want to see him against. So he kind of got a pass for that one, Barak. 1 pound, 0.6 ounces, heavy, loses the straps at 130, but a phenomenal performance on Saturday night.
Yes, as usual, a dominant performance. Now, listen, it's always an individual basis, so I'd never really say, oh, this fighter is undisciplined. I say we just can't rule that out ever with any fighter, unless the fighter is maybe 16 years old and he's still growing. We don't grow in our 30s, you know what I'm saying? But you can be putting on muscle while you're working out, so you really don't know. I can tell you one thing, everybody's just so excited about Shakur being at 135 that it really doesn't matter, And if your opponent is not complaining, then it really doesn't matter. And I wouldn't say it depends on the level of boxing that the fighter is at, because Floyd missed weight when he fought Marquez, and yes, he said, I just wanted to come in 146. I don't care. I'll pay Marquez whatever. But there's a reason for that, So I think it's the excitement that makes us all overlook it. And you called Shakur a once-in-a-lifetime talent. That's a very, very honorable thing to say. That's a very, very big mention, and big opinion on somebody. I think he's special, but we want to see him fight the Devons. And I love that he called Devon out. I love that. Yes, we want to see him fight Tank. Yes, we want to see all of these guys fight each other because they're not right now. Devin at the time seems like he'll fight anybody, But yeah, I want to fight the guy with all the belts. Anybody else doesn't make sense.
A lot of people didn't know that Consencio was an Olympic gold medalist. So, Barak, the reason why I gave him that much praise as far as his talent is because he just reminds me of in my opinion, was one of the greatest fighters of all time. Could very well be the greatest in Floyd Mayweather. He's able to make guys that are credible guys look subpar, look average, look actually amateur. And he did it, and he's getting better and doing it moving forward, which is entertaining for the fans. A lot of fighters that have superb skills like Shakur normally use their footwork a lot and move around the ring, and sometimes that's not super entertaining for some fight fans. Shakur's starting to do it with supreme confidence in the middle of the ring, which lends to a more entertaining fight. So
it's just that
I'm okay jumping out the window saying that, only because
I get you.
I've watched the sport enough, right? And I'm no expert, I'm no psychic. I watched the sport enough to see a certain level of talent, even before it's tested at the highest level, and believe that it will succeed at that level once he gets there. So this is just subjective. There's a lot of talent in the sport. I think, to your point, I love the fact that he called Devin Haney out, who is the undisputed champion. He's right. He's trying to go for the gusto right away, trying to get to the point. But there are other guys in that division that have already, I guess, probably earned the right to fight him, or people want to see who've been want to see Devin against, who've been at 135 already.
Right.
Either way, anybody that Shakur fights at 37, it's a hot ticket, meaning any of the top guys.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that nobody's really calling Devin out. I mean, that one time I remember when Tank mentioned Devin, hey, I want to fight him, but never really anything else.
Yeah,
and you see Ryan wants to fight Tank, and that's it right now. So if Shakur is the one saying that, hey, after he beats Kambosos again, then I want to fight him. I'm just saying I like that. I like when Bud came up to 147, he's naming all of the champs. He fought a champ the first fight. So I like stuff like that. And as far as Shakur is concerned, yeah, as far as the eye test, that dude looks spectacular. But I'm not going to go as far as to say what you said, only because Floyd, if you want to compare to Floyd, he beat Hall of Fame guys and made Marquez and all these other guys who were great look subpar. Yeah. So I just want to wait to go that far and say that, even though he does look super special.
And just to be clear, Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis, you know those guys, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo, and obviously Lomachenko, superb talent. And Shakur went on to say also he'll fight Lomachenko as well. If not Devin, he'll fight Lomachenko. So, I mean, you're talking about three of probably the most skilled boxers in boxing in Shakur, Devin, and Lomachenko.
This was already the best division. And then all of a sudden we add Shakur Stevenson to the mix.
Right.
I'm upset now that Teofimo left the 140.
And we'll move on, but I do want to touch on the fact that I love the way that Shakur has been embracing his Puerto Rican side. We all know he's half Puerto Rican. It's actually the first time I've seen him walk to the ring with a big Puerto Rican flag behind him. He had the flag behind him during the post-fight interview. And I've been seeing a lot of traction in Puerto Rico. They're accepting him with open arms. Obviously, was such a talented fighter. So
you guys don't get to have him. I'm very sorry.
No, sorry.
We're not giving him up on this side.
It's already
on the
done.
black side. We're not giving him up.
It's already done, buddy. It's already done.
Cut that out.
So he can be both. Listen, either way, we're excited to see what's next for Shakur. Phenomenal talent, defense, offense. He barely got hit with a shot in the entire fight. And I thought he was.
No, but see, that's the thing. He did get hit. And he got hit because he chose to fight that style.
Right.
You know, it's just like when Floyd fought Cotto. Like Cotto tapped him up, bloodied his nose, because Floyd said, I'm going to try not to move around, but to fight in the pocket.
I don't want to stay too long on this, Barak, but he did get hit a few times. But from, if you're basing it on how long he was in the line of fire, in the pocket,
that's what I'm saying.
He barely got hit, in my opinion, because there were so many shots thrown at him. And a lot of those shots were being caught, were being slipped. There was so much defense in the middle of that ring that, it goes overlooked sometimes.
And at times he threw defense out and he said, I want to knock this guy out. I think he was trying to knock Conceição out, staying in the pocket like that, sometimes not even caring, almost like Floyd did Logan Paul.
And I have to admit, one last thing, there was one time where he got hit flush and he ate it well. So, I mean, a guy like that can take a punch, and if he can take a punch, fighting the big punches, it's a scary sight for anybody, honestly. All right, listen, moving on. Barak, Joe Joyce is a guy that I'm on record saying that slow as molasses, doesn't look too skilled. He's a big guy, and he keeps proving me wrong. I'm going to have to start becoming a believer.
Can you explain what molasses is for our young viewers, please?
All right, listen.
Nobody uses molasses anymore. That was my grandmother. I never even used that phrase.
Let me update you guys, all right? Yeah, you guys ever had a jar of honey and you try to pour it out, and how long the honey takes to get to the top of the cap of the jar? That's what molasses is like, all right? Something that moves slow. That's it. It's just slow. So
slow, Joe.
And I threw shots. Sometimes I joke around, but look, we all know what it is to get into the ring, especially at heavyweight when these guys are big punches and they fight with 10-ounce gloves. One thing that he can also do is take a shot, take a punch. We know Joe Parker is a really good boxer. He's quick on his feet and he had success early. But I guess Joe Joyce is the type of guy that is willing to go through anything to break his opponent down, and that's what he's been doing for his entire career. Can he do it at the highest level, Barak? Can he do it against the guys like AJ, the guys like Fury, the guys like Wilder? I guess soon enough we'll be able to see.
My man, I'm not even asking that question anymore. First of all, I want to give Joe Parker credit for wanting this fight. Number one, for wanting to get back up to that level where he was at. And I want to say, Joe Joyce just beat a former champion. So basically, he's on the top level right now. Now, his nickname is the Juggernaut. This guy is really the Juggernaut. I remember the Juggernaut as a kid, watching it on X-Men, and whatever you throw at him, it made him more powerful. And he kept coming, and he was stronger. And that's Joe Joyce. Listen, I know I call Shakur Stevenson special, right? Because of his skill set. I'm gonna go out there on a limb, and I'm gonna call Joe Joyce special.
Wait, hold on. What is?
I'm gonna tell you why. I know you don't like his style.
Is his resistance special?
I'm gonna tell you. What we're talking about? He has a couple of things. He has an incredible. He's 37 years old. One has so much an incredible Ferrari engine. Two, and the guy is throwing 90-something punches around in heavyweight in the 11th round, in the 10th round, in the 9th round. That's special for a heavyweight. That's amazing if you ask me. And he's doing that with every single fighter. He did that with Dubois. He's doing that with everybody.
I have to agree with you.
And all we're thinking of, I'm sorry, but all we're thinking about is what? Let's see if he can take Wilder's right hand.
Right, and maybe we'll see that. I mean, I think he's at that age. You're right. He's showing there's some things that are special about him. The way he takes a punch.
Oh, there you go. You see?
And his output. Now, look, we all know that Deontay Wilder is probably one of the hardest punchers in heavyweight history. Now, if a guy can withstand that type of power at his size, he'd probably be successful against anybody, maybe even against Tyson Fury, whoever. So I hope he does.
I don't know, man. I feel like 2015 Deontay Wilder can outbox him. You know what I'm saying? The one that outboxed Stavern. I feel like Fury has the stamina to box. That might not even be Fury's style to box him. I don't know. Maybe Fury was hit him a few times and say, you know what, I just hit him with everything I have. Now I got to get on my bike. I don't know. And it seems like Joe Joyce chases you around the whole fight. Right. But can Fury and can Wilder deal with that? And I think Fury and Wilder are heavier punchers. Heavier than everybody that Joe Joyce fought. And it would be crazy if he could take a Wilder shot. And even nowadays, take a Fury shot.
I would love to see Joe Joyce fights next. Hopefully he's a top level guy. I'm interested to see how that plays out. Barak, I mean, I wasn't interested too much in the Floyd Mayweather exhibition fight. Actually, I wasn't interested at all. So I just watched clips and the highlights on Instagram. I don't even know what I'm watching.
Shout out to Floyd Stinker. He keeps him busy. You know,
his agent, his manager, whoever it is.
We talk more. I mean, less about this than we talk about Jake Paul fight because you know Jake Paul is at least trying to fight boxers.
Speaking of Jake Paul, he's actually trying to fight Floyd Mayweather. He put out a video on social media. Call to action. He wants Floyd.
Too small. That's more than 30-pound difference.
Becomes unified champion at 126.
She was already unified, but she just picked up that one more strap. Still need that WBA
to become undisputed, and which we expected. She's a phenomenal talent and keeps winning. I still want to see her.
Once in a lifetime talent, prove it.
Listen, I still want to see the rematch against Katie Taylor.
And she wants it too. She commented on one of my posts the other day. She was like, I can't wait till that happens. But she wants all of the straps at 126. There's one more belt left, and that's cool. Now, listen, everybody else who's at the top of the women's boxing can say that they've been undisputed, you know? And you know what? Speaking of that, there's a card that's coming up, I think it's November 5th, and Golden Boy and Matchroom is putting it together. Nobody's telling me to shout this card out. This is Bivol and Ramirez. I was just looking at that card. That's an incredible card. Jessica McCaskill's on that. That's what made me think of it. You know, Joe Cordina is on that. Yeah. That's another thing that made me think of it because, you know, they mentioned him as a possible opponent for Shakur at one time. It's just everybody at the top of that card is undefeated except McCaskill, but they're all champions. Incredible card.
All right, Brock, before we get out of here, big shout to Maxi Hughes getting that dub against Kid Galahad. Did you enjoy that?
No, I did not, because I was rooting for Kid Galahad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, shout out to Maxi. I mean, I got to give credit to the guys that turned their career around.
Yeah.
You know, Tevin Farmer did it early in his career and became champion. So you got to give credit to these guys. So shout out to him. Shout out also to Chris Cyborg for winning her first ever professional boxing match. Now, I don't know if it's going to go on her record. I don't know how that works, but congratulations.
All right, listen, that's our show for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.